Hello everyone, Storm11 here. Today we'll be doing a live stream this evening. We'll be talking about the major winter storm potential for poor United States. Um, for the most part, this point it's looking to be like the mid-Atlantic type of region as well. Go and do this really quick. So we'll gotta talk about this system here. So I'm gonna go in and get my chat pulled up on my phone here so that way I can see you guys. If you guys do have any questions throughout the stream, you can go and put in the chat. I'll answer you guys' questions. So let's go ahead and begin here. And we'll start off with the European model. I'm not really completely 100% set up right now. So let's take a look at this. Now, first of all, there is going to be a system that could bring in some heavy, potentially some heavy snow really later tomorrow. We're generally talking about possibly anywhere from central Tennessee for southeastern Kentucky to West Virginia, eventually get into Pennsylvania, and up across portions of the Northeast as well. Now, there is some uncertainties with the system here, and we'll be talking about that in just a moment. But really, after that, we definitely need to watch this, and we're also starting to see a little bit of a trend here as well. So, what's going to be happening here? Well, there's going to be two different lows. There's going to be a low just south of Alabama there. There's also another low that'll be going on across portions of Kentucky and Tennessee. Eventually, those two are going to be phasing. Here comes your main low that'll be coming up very soon here. And these two here will be phasing. And this low here will start to deepen. You can see here some heavy snow on the northern edge there. And really showing some very heavy snow across central and eastern Pennsylvania, and eventually they'll be getting up across New Jersey, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts as well, and then eventually should start to move out by Friday. And there's still some uncertainties with this system here, just to keep in mind of that. And we've been seeing a crazy good agreement with this system here. So I'll be showing you guys some multiple models on this as well. Dex Mains Vids Forever Ultra HD. Welcome to the stream. Will it hit Buntman County, West Virginia? So, really anywhere in West Virginia, I mean, for the system coming in tomorrow and also the next one, you guys do generally most of West Virginia has a good chance to see some snow. Accumulations is still a question there as well. So let's take a look into the NAM. And the NAM does not go throughout the entire event, but it does go throughout some of the event. So here's round number one. Geeks Air, which we'll be go into a little bit more in depth with this here. This is starting to happen right now. Oh yeah, guys, by the way, we actually got a winter storm going on into portions of Arkansas right now. We got a winter storm warning sound effect out there where they're seeing a few inches of snow. So that's quite interesting there, which I did mention about on my last video there. So it seems like the winter storm did happen across all those regions there. And let's go to our next system here. And there is going to be one big issue with this, and we're going to be focusing on western North Carolina into portions of Virginia into West Virginia. There's going to be the possibility for some heavy ice. Now, most of this is, I believe this is sleet, but there's probably going to be some freezing rain. Most of this is, I believe, mixed in with this. And so there could be some ice storm potential with this, especially across those regions that I just mentioned. You can see there are some heavy ice or wintering mix that is going on across those regions there as well. And you can see that heavy snow really takes shape as it moves up into the northeastern United States as well. One trend that we've been seeing is the ridge up across the far northeastern United States up into Canada, which has been trending a little bit stronger by a few runs. And what that could do is that can make the snow chances a little bit lesser for areas further north. So that'd be something we got to pay attention to. But really, the highest confidence of seeing a lot of snow right now is looking to be portions of Pennsylvania, Maryland, into New Jersey. Possibly even some of New York State, but really everywhere else, there's still some uncertainties with that there as well. We'll take a look at snowfall accumulations with this. Now, it's probably going to be overdoing it, I should say. You can see here with the first event, probably more than likely overdoing it. I mean, 14 inches snow seems quite high for my taste. And here comes the next system. You can see it adds on top of those snowfall totals. And you can see here showing for the next 84 hours, possibly up to 32 inches. Again, likely overdone. But one thing's for certain, I just cut off. Usually that happens every time. Alright, we should be back now. I don't know why it does that every single time. How much snow would Prince of West Virginia and West Virginia get? Too early on the snowfall amounts with this system, to say the least. We'll just put it that way. So, as you can see here, guys, widespread around a foot to at least a foot of snow across most of these regions. I think there's going to be no doubt seeing at least a foot of snow across some of these regions here. I think that's a no doubt about it type of thing. But we're still a couple of days away, so it's likely to be changing around some more there as well. And we'll take a look to the high-res NAM. Does not go through, I don't think it gets to that event, but at least gets through the first event. Okay, no life. What's going on here? Looks like we're having a little bit of technical difficulties here. Saying no one's watching, but my phone should count as a viewer. There we go. So, I don't know what happened there. Okay, people should be starting to joining. Now, hopefully. I don't know why it does that for every single live stream. It always cuts off at some point early on the live stream, and it never cuts off anymore. If you guys seen my past live streams, you know that's happened before many times. I don't know why, but I guess it just does that. I don't know. Okay, the high-res dam doesn't want to load on here, so let's move on to pitiful weather here. We'll take a look at the high-res NAM on here. And again, it does not go through the entire event. At least it goes through the first event, but I don't think it gets to the second event here. I gotta move on to 18Z. And again, got heavy snow going on across, northwestern Arkansas, southern Missouri, experiencing some heavy snow over there, causing some hazardous travel across some of those areas there. You can see here, it, and this is what we call dynamic cooling, and it really depends on these rainfall rates. And you can see here in the model here, the high-res NAM, it looks like it's underdoing those rainfall rates, and that's kind of concerning here. Because if I go to, because around that time, it's showing, just dark green in general. We're actually starting to see more moderate rain on going across southwestern Kentucky. It's also a little bit, it looks like a little further north as well. If we go to other sites, you can see here, wow, that is some very heavy rain going on here. And what this could do is it's going to create dynamic cooling within this heavy rain. And what happens with dynamic cooling, it pretty much cools down at the surface of temperatures, and it can get possibly cold enough for heavy snow to come down. So I feel like the her model may actually have a better handle on this. So let's look into the her. Seems like it's been updated to the latest, so that's good. We'll see if it's picking up on that. It doesn't look like it's quite picking up on that very heavy rain that's currently ongoing there. Just kind of concerned me because that's probably there's going to be a chance it's going to be, well, really what I'm trying to say here, that the heavy snow swath may be further, at least expanded further north. I mean, this heavy rain band is just moving to the northeast, and we're starting to see this large band of heavy rain. This is giving me an indication here is that some of this heavy snow swath actually may be a little bit further north than what the models are predicting. Models are actually predicting some of the best chance for snow generally across these regions here. Well, not probably not that large of a region. Probably something like this here, but we're starting to see heavy rain further north, and that's going to continue to track to the northeast. So for guys it's like in southwestern Kentucky, central Kentucky, southeastern Ohio, and kind of continue on maybe a little bit further to the northeast, could actually see the possibility for some heavy snow compared to what the models are showing. So we'd probably see a little bit of an expansion for some heavy snow that could fall. And not only that, that can also bring up some higher snowfall totals across south as well because they'll get heavy snow for a longer period of time. And if we do see some snow within this heavy rain, there's likely to be some very high snowfall rates. So those areas in the heavy rain, you transition over to heavy rain to very heavy snow. And with that very heavy snow, that can overcome those above uh, above freezing temperatures that's on the ground, as well as those grassy surfaces, as well, and even for elevated surfaces as well. So this is definitely something interesting here that the malls are not quite picking up on as well, and that could really put a change in the forecast here as well. Starting to switch over to heavy snow near Missouri, Illinois, the Kentucky border. Diamond cooling is going on. All right, good to know there. Yeah, he's probably talking about this region here. Probably starting to experience some snow here. So, yeah, on that. Going go to windy to see the wind of Georgia. Yeah, yeah. This haven't even really looked into the wind yet, so we can probably take a look into that. Yeah, the European model does really ramp up those wind gusts across Georgia. 55, 50, 55 mile an hour wind gusts. Probably overdoing it to say the least. I mean, the European model on a lot of these wind events have overdo it. So I'll probably say wind gusts probably 30 to 45 miles an hour. Probably 45 miles an hour is probably going to be your max there. You can see that continues to move on to the northeast. So let's take a look to this wind on this next round. It doesn't look like a lot of wind will be going on this next system, but it definitely looks like the first system could bring some decent wind across portions of the southeast there as well. But that was good to know. So yeah, the her model here, you can see at this point, not even showing heavy rain at all. That is more of in a way of light rain at that point. So that's going to be a big problem here. So that can mean, again, we can actually see some snowfall accumulations further north, or at least get expanded north as well. What do you think for potential of blizzard warnings going up along the coast? The possibility is there. I mean, for blizzard criteria, for a certain period of time, you have to at least have 30. Uh, we should probably look to sustain winds. I think the blizzard potential is not there because of the winds, really. Also, this model here is showing multiple low pressure systems. There's one here, there's another one here, so it's really fighting each other. If we can get these two to really combine, we could be seeing a much stronger system with this, and that could bring in some pretty rough conditions along the east coast there as well. How much snow? Uh, since you're the same person that's talking about in Georgia, I mean in Georgia, I don't think you guys will see any snow. It's also a little bit early to say the snowfall accumulations with this system. I mean, this is the European model showing a little over 2 feet of snow. That's probably a little bit more accurate than what past models been showing. At a couple points, the GFS model's been showing snowfall amounts over 30 inches, which I think is ridiculously too high. But you can see here, I think this is a little bit more accurate look. We could possibly see at least see a widespread around foot amounts of snow. Could North Georgia could get any snow? Well, possibly. Well, I think it's going to be too warm, in my opinion, for Georgia to really see any snow from this event. I mean, looking in the European model, doesn't pick up on any snow for Georgia. Even for the first event, doesn't really pick up on any snow. Possibly those mountain regions can actually see some snow. But I think there's no doubt going to be a winter storm with this. I mean, let's look into another model, and we'll take a look at the GFS ensembles. Now, this is 20 members, and I've never seen a agreement like this before. If we take a look into the mean snowfall accumulations, see if it'll load, because sometimes on this site here it doesn't really load. Here we go. So there goes the first event. You've got to subtract at least for up to 2 or 3 inches. You can see here, we're actually starting to see a trend further south on these snowfall amounts due to that high pressure that'll be building up eastern Canada. And it looks like it keeps on getting stronger and stronger as well. So this is not a good sign for like people in Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. That's not a good sign. I mean, New York City may need to watch that trend. But generally speaking, the better chance for snow is going to be the mountains of West Virginia, Northern Virginia, Maryland, to New Jersey, and into Pennsylvania. That's where we have the better confidence at this point, and probably in even southern New York State as well. But everywhere else, we still have some uncertainties there. But this is a crazy agreement here from the GFS ensembles. I mean, 15 inches of snow, but keep in mind it's adding on top uh, to the first event, so take this off about a couple inches, and you got widespread, well, not widespread, but areas of a foot of snow just by a 20 model member average here. So let's take a look at the GFS models, talk about that high pressure. So upper dynamics, 500 millibar hot anomalies. So there goes your first system. Here comes your next system right here. Doesn't look to be an overly impressive trough, but you can see a ridge starts to build in across Canada, so that's not going to make the system go up across Maine, Vermont, and New Hampshire, even into northern New York State. So unfortunately, you guys will likely miss out on this event. You can see how then that trough really starts to move out. Ridging starts to build in, and I'm also been showing something quite interesting around Christmas time for especially across the eastern United States, but we'll talk about that in a different video. But I guess I could show you guys that. You can see here, this is Christmas Eve. Got a trough to the north. But if we actually go to precipitation here, now on the last run of GFS was showing something quite different, but obviously the absurdity is going to be pretty high on this, so that's likely going to change. But we do have a little bit of an idea there's likely to be troughing in the eastern United States around Christmas time, so there's a possibility some areas could see some snow during around Christmas time. So that'll be nice to see there. But yeah, I think there's no doubt, again, no doubt about it. We'll probably see over a foot amount of snow across a good chunk of these regions here as well. See how the progression for this heavy rain, and yeah, pretty good corridor of rain here. And as someone said earlier in the stream, around this general region here, there's some snow going on here already. So, yep, on that. And that could mean later down the road here, there could be some snow that could try to form possibly in these zones here. So that's going to be something interesting. And also, I live in this general region here, so I'm excited to see this happen here. Well, at least I'm hoping so. And again, the malls are having a hard time with this. The last time the malls were showing dynamic cooling, they nailed it. It seems like all the malls are having a good agreement across southeastern Kentucky, up across West Virginia, and up into Pennsylvania. We'll probably see most of the snow. But you compare it to her model, like right around now, versus in reality. I mean, that's a big change in the forecast there as well. So we'll definitely, I'll say at this point, we'll probably likely see some snow, probably some accumulations there as well. Oh yeah, how much ice? Let's actually talk about that. So yeah, ice is going to be quite concerning with this. So let's talk about the ice here. So this is going to be the NAM with the ice potential. Likely could be overdoing this. The NAM model typically overdoes the ice amounts. I've seen that happen multiple times. You can see here showing ice amounts up to an inch in a few areas. That's very significant. But probably in reality, we'll probably see some areas probably could get up to a quarter of an inch of ice, which is a possibility across some of these regions here. So we definitely got a watch very closely here. And there could be some overachievers as well, but this is definitely something we got to pay attention to here as well. And malls are even also indicating, I think by the same system here, yeah, by the same system, there could actually be some severe weather, mainly across far eastern North Carolina. There could actually be some severe weather with this system. Actually, there's two systems, not one, just two systems. You can see here that this is the superset composite values, and you can see here we got some pretty high values in eastern North Carolina with this. And then AM overdoes these events as well. And that's very impressive sounding here. I made a photograph. Looks really good. Got instability. Pretty good setup for some tornadoes out there as well. But again, typically the NAM overdoes things on severe weather events. But for anybody that lives in eastern North Carolina, definitely needs to pay attention with the severe weather threat as well with this system. Definitely something we got to be paying attention to there as well. Charleston, West Virginia. Again, guys, it's a little bit too early to tell about the snowfall amounts. But let me show you guys probably the most accurate prediction here. And I think it could be the European model. Now this is total snowfall. You can see here throughout the first event, showing up to 10 inches of snow. More than likely, those higher elevations could see some snow that high. And then here comes the second wave. Probably a little bit more accurate here. I mean, could still be a little bit overdone with some of these regions here. I mean, showing widespread up to 2 feet of snow across some of these regions here. But I think we'll likely see a general 12 to possibly 18 inches of snow across some of these regions here. So, Maryland, eastern West Virginia, northern Virginia, far southern New York State, and a good chunk of New Jersey will be the areas we'll probably likely see a good amount of snow out of this here. So, again, it's definitely something we're going to be paying attention to. Reading you guys' questions here. Thoughts on Monroe, New York? You could just look up the location. Can we see some power outages here with this ice? Yes, you can see some power outages with that much ice there. That'll be an issue. Monroe, New York. Yeah, Monroe, New York is in far southern New York State. Yeah, you guys could possibly see a decent amount of snow out of this, but with that trend of a stronger ridge, the confidence of seeing a lot of snow keeps on going down. I mean, if we look into the GFS model, wait for it to load. You can see Monroe, New York is right here. You can see it's literally on the edge here. Here's your high pressure across eastern Canada there. And the stronger it gets, the further south, well, how should I put this here? The further south that the system will move away. Because we're having some models predictions a little bit further north to leave the region and keeps on trending further south here of it leaving the region here. So, how much snow for Indianapolis, Indiana? Honestly, you guys are probably not going to see much of any snow. I mean, you guys could still see a few snowflakes. I mean, for the first round, you guys won't see any snow, but on the second round, you guys could possibly see some snowflakes. I'm also been trending a little bit south with that snow line. Now a little bit more focus across northern Kentucky, southern Indiana, southern Ohio. There as well. Finally see a white Christmas? I won't say that yet. I will not say that yet. Although the GFS model on the last run has been pretty generous with that across the eastern United States, which I'll show you guys that. Show that real quick. So right around Christmas time, you got a system that moves to the southeast. And bingo. That's Christmas Eve. Blast of snow, Tennessee Valley, portions of the Midwest. It moves on to Christmas Day here, and this is a cutoff low here, and that's a pretty strong cutoff low. But this is likely going to change, just to keep in mind. We'll start talking about this when we kind of get into the 7 to 10 day period. But if we look into the next run, it's gone. So, yeah. So I won't say I like Christmas yet, but what we do know is there's a decent agreement that there's going to be some troughing in the eastern United States with the GFS ensembles and the Euro ensembles as well. So there's some good news there still around. And that can indicate a system that could bring some snow across those regions there. I need at least 12 inches in Agawam, Maryland, so I could drive my snowmobile on the street. Oh man. Yeah, we got a snowplow in our garage. Since we got it, we rarely used it. think we got it back in, I don't know, like 2015, 2016 or something like that. We had a big snow around that time, a big snowy winter. And the past few winters, it's just been very warm and not a lot of snow at all. So rarely, we rarely use it now. So yeah, hopefully we get to use it soon. I mean, this winter does seem a little bit promising for that. That we can at least use that. The last run GFS trending north. You can look at the last run and compare the two. Which system you talk about? You maybe talk about the second system here. Yeah, we'll go back to previous runs, see what the trend has been. Looks like, yeah, it's been further north, further north. And you can see here it's been going south as well. I do not have my pen with me, but so basically what we had before, we had system going up across these regions here, and now we have the system only going like this. And this is not a good sign for Massachusetts, Connecticut, Vermont, New Hampshire, portions of New York. And that southward trend can continue, and if it does, some of these regions, 10 days out show a lot of snow, and in reality, you don't get to see any snow at all. So, definitely gotta watch the phasing here as well, where these two lows will likely come together here at this point. So, hopefully it phases in a little bit earlier, so that way, around here Kentucky can see a better chance of snow. At least that's something I'm hoping for. Going back to the NAM. There goes system number 1 there. Should be out of here by tomorrow evening. Here comes the next system here. You can see here. So it's a pretty good amount of snow. Snow starts to really begin in the lower Ohio Valley. Eventually expands into the northeast. So you can see a pretty good band of heavy snow there across these regions here. But we gotta watch that trend. GFS so far has been trending further south of this low pressure system, or I should say, the snow band, the snow bands there. So we're gonna see if the NAM will follow the GFS. Here's what if that's gonna be the case, that won't be good news for Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire again. There as well. And we can look into the GFS ensembles. And look into the mean. Here, the snowfall accumulations. Keep in mind, this is 20 members. Yeah, you can even see what the mean here. It's pretty much further to the south than what the NAM has it. But the highest confidence is right now looking to be Northern Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland, a good chunk of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, far southern New York, and also northern Delaware as well. That's where we're looking to have the highest confidence of seeing a lot of snow out of this system here. Zoom in on pitiful snow went up for me on the GFS. It's interesting there. You could be looking onto the 12Z though. Be sure you look at that because, I mean, like for me, for example, I have it saved on favorites on the European model. You can see it's on the 12Z, but if I go to the GFS, it stays at 12Z, so be sure to change it. That's happened to me a decent amount of times, and that's something I don't really like about pitiful weather. Well, it should be like the tropical tidbits, there where it automatically takes you to the latest run. So it keeps you on the same run like the past models are. But I'm sure they do that for comparison. It'll be a little bit easier to compare. But here's a GFS here. I need to zoom into the Mid-Atlantic. And he said that it's been trending a little bit north, you say. we'll go right here. I don't know how you would do that. Do it from here. Because I know if I do this, it'll just reset. I don't know, but it'd be easier. It's on the 18Z. That's quite odd. I don't know then. To be honest with you, I don't really know then. Went from 5 last run to 8 on this run. Okay. Um, let's talk about the system that's ongoing right now. So, right now, got heavy rain going on across northwestern Tennessee to southwestern Kentucky. Eventually, that should start to change over to snow, but one way to indicate the temperatures is that I do have the Kentucky mesocyte stations here, so let's see what the temperatures are. Oh yeah, they're cooling down all right. So we got 37 degrees, so still too warm for snow right now, but probably in the next couple hours or so, well, probably a few hours, I should say, probably start to see that transition here. So temperatures are currently in the upper 30s. Another way to probably watch here is the temperatures from the models versus now, which the last time it was um, colder than what the models were showing. It's close. I mean, for some of these regions out here, yeah, it is way too warm. I mean, about 6 degrees. Dang. I mean, yeah, it's too warm, but a couple degrees too warm. So, that'd be a good sign there, too. That could really increase the probability for some better chance for widespread snow across Kentucky there. So that's kind of some exciting news for people that live around in Kentucky there. So that's definitely something quite interesting here. I see a little ice storm. Can New York see a nice snow mix? Probably on Long Island. Could probably has a better chance, but everywhere else should it stay is all snow. There, we got 2.5 inches of snow in Southwest Missouri. That's pretty cool. That's pretty nice. Let's actually take a look to those observed snowfall totals. Let's see. Because we do have an ongoing winter storm across some of those regions there. So, observations, observed snowfall. It's not updated right now. I've heard that there's been a decent amount of snow. I mean, the highest I've heard, central Oklahoma, some areas got up with over 6 inches of snow across some of those regions there. So be careful on the roads out there, guys. You know, those roads are slippery of what I've seen on Twitter today. I don't know what else to talk about here. We pretty much covered about everything here. Could Beaver Dam, Kentucky see snow? It definitely looking like you guys can possibly see some snow. I mean, the analysis here versus the models. I mean, this heavy rain is going to be your friend right now. It's creating cooling within here. We got temperatures in the upper 30s and eventually getting down to the mid 30s right now. And some other person did say there is some snow going on across some of these regions here as well, so which I don't really doubt about it at this point. So the heavy rain is going to be your friend with this. You can see here some heavy rain ongoing here. Higher the rainfall rates, the better chance you guys can see some snow. It's really how it is at this point because with those higher rainfall rates, that can really bring in with that dynamic cooling here, and it can be cold enough for some snow. So you can see a transition from heavy rain to very heavy snow, and with those very high snowfall rates, it'll likely overcome the temperatures on those grassy surfaces here. That heavy rain could be ice pellets. Eh, I don't think it is. I mean, possibly southwestern Kentucky. I mean, when you look to these mesonet sites here, it's too warm for ice pellets. I mean, snow has happened before around these temperatures, but it doesn't happen often. So I'm pretty confident this is all rain for right now. But getting into far southwestern Kentucky, probably seeing some ice pellets way down there. So and these here update like every few seconds. You can see those areas already got a half an inch of rain already. This is a pretty nice site to use. So the last 24 hours, you can see here those rainfall amounts are going up there as well. And we can move along down around Arkansas. So I don't know the observed temperatures. I think these regions here are seeing snow right now. How much snow in Kentucky? It's still questionable right now. So pretty questionable for right now. That's why I've not made a forecast on this event because this is very tough. I mean, a model so far, or actually, her model, it's not doing a good job right now. Definitely guys. Alright, so it's updating. So let's see if it's picking up on those temperatures now, which it is starting to pick up on those temperatures, but still way too warm across ports southwestern Kentucky into central Kentucky compared to right now. So it's off by really 3 to 5 degrees. But let's go to future radar with this, which again, still, well, it's a little bit better than what it was earlier. You can see it really transitioned over to very heavy snow near across southeastern Kentucky. But again, looks like it's still underdoing those all that rain that's going on right now. So yeah, on that. Although the air is probably a little bit drier out ahead of us, but eventually that moisture will start to get in here. So yeah, dew point, yeah, it's a little bit dry. Well, actually, no. The dew points is actually higher, so moisture is actually not that much of a problem. So let's kind of wrap this up here. So seems like the major winter storm potential is becoming a little bit more likely for the mid-Atlantic regions. Definitely got to watch out for some ice across portions of Virginia, West Virginia, into Maryland. But again, things are likely going to change some more before we get to the event. There's likely going to be some high snowfall totals across those regions as well. And with the first system, it seems like the malls are having a hard time. With the rain here, it's number one, overdoing the temperatures. Number two, it's underdoing the rain that's going on right now. I mean, the HER model, it's light to moderate. Meanwhile, in reality, it's actually moderate to heavy rain. So The models are not really doing a good job with that, which that can really change up the forecast there as well. But again, it's too early for the snowfall totals on both of these systems right now. It's still got some high uncertainties with this here. So, but anyways, guys, this is Arc for you guys today. Hope you guys did enjoy this live stream. If you guys like this live stream, hit the like button. If you really do like my channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you never miss an upload. If you guys have questions about this, if you're watching this as a video, you can put a comment section down below. I'll answer you guys' questions, and I'll see you guys in the next one.